Hey, y'all. Well, good morning. Welcome to Mike. I'm Mike, and look who's here. Stu is here.
They can't see me. It's radio, remember?
Well, they can there
On what?
on our high-tech camera stuff.
There you go. Our live stuff.
Yeah,
We're
right.
live on the Facebook and the YouTube.
I'm learning how to do this.
And my Twitter page.
And your Twitter page.
Yeah.
So
I will not call it that.
Okay.
The best they'll get out of me is Twixter.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Glad y'all are tuning in, listening, and watching us on the interweb,
on the online,
and the online stuff on our Facebook page. And so Stu, what are you doing here today?
Well, the weather has been a little dicey this weekend, and we are an outdoor only facility.
Yeah.
So they left it up to us when we wanted to open, and we all collectively chose just Friday and Saturday, 11 to 8. Still did not see very many people downtown.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Now, the restaurants that had indoor seating were okay Friday and Saturday night, because I left at like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Did you?
But, I mean, it was still so slow. Didn't even make it to 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
There was no point in it. And
no,
they weren't full.
I wasn't out in it. So
yeah.
I walked by 8 o'clock.
Yes, I walked by Heroes,
mm-hmm.
and it wasn't full on a Friday or Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then turned the corner there and went by Noja,
mm-hmm.
and maybe 25% of the tables were taken.
Yeah.
And I get it, especially in an area where most people think that a 50-degree day is freezing.
Yeah.
A freezing day is really going to be freezing.
And also, there's a lot of Mardi Gras events going on. Right?
Yeah.
Even without parades, you still have balls and events and associated with it, and dinners that they're getting ready to gear up. And like right now, you can go downtown over.
Had some second lines yesterday.
Yeah, and you could go over there off of that area of town where all the float barns, and they've got float barn parties going on. So
yeah, I have catered a few of those for
railroads. And that's really cool. So I'm glad to see Mardi Gras here. It's early this year, and it's going to interfere with I think, with St. Patty's Day. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. It's the day after.
I'm okay with that.
The day after. So if I was one who
the mac and cheesery will not be open for Valentine's Day.
Okay. That would be so romantic.
In case you wanted to stand in an alley.
That would be so romantic.
That's your idea of Valentine's Day. Stand in an alley in the rain.
In the wine business, it just I like Mardi Gras after, like a week or two after Valentine's Day or before Valentine's Day, because if it fell during Mardi Gras, I wasn't getting the wine sale. I wasn't getting the champagnes and wine sales that I used to get normally get otherwise. So,
yeah. But what is falling in the middle of Mardi Gras this year?
What?
The Senior Ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's downtown's going to be something.
And Super Bowl is on Joe Cain Day.
Yeah, and I've got friends. In fact, we've had one of the guys on the show from the War Report,
mm-hmm.
which is a Auburn-centric football, sports show. They cover
mm-hmm.
they cover everything, ladies, golf. It doesn't matter if it's Auburn.
The horses.
But yeah,
they do have like a world.
Yeah, absolutely.
World class.
And swimming and diving too. Yeah, they don't spend a lot of time on those. They just pretty much, hey man, letting it great what they're doing. We don't know how you determine who rides the horse best, but yay team.
There's a method. But
we had Brian on when COVID ended to tell us where to go in Auburn post-COVID,
right?
When the Iron Bowl was going to be there, so everybody was going to go. Well, a couple of the guys are coming down here
mm-hmm.
for the Senior Bowl, and I told them, It's during Mardi Gras, so don't even bother looking for a hotel near downtown.
If you don't have one now.
Yeah, you're already too late for it.
There's, you know,
and I
there's,
said you go West Mobile because the game's going to be at South Alabama.
yeah.
So you can go find a Hampton Inn out Moffett Road in Sims or something out airport near the airport.
Their hotel's right across from South Alabama now.
Yeah.
So
I don't
really
know. I'm sure the prices are going to be high, but
probably, yeah.
not as high as what you would pay downtown.
Yeah.
So so that's gonna make for some interesting stuff. There'll be things going on downtown. This year, I guess the Mardi Gras parade will be an actual Mardi Gras parade. but
one year I had
a lot of Senior Bowl activities going on, and I'm looking forward to that too because that brings people downtown when they go to the hotel and visit players.
I've had actual guys from Buffalo, New York, here before during Mardi Gras, from Genesee Ale beer, Genesee Green Ale. And they were down from Buffalo, and it was cold, but it wasn't that cold.
Oh yeah,
and they had never been to a Mardi Gras before, and they just happened to come at the right time.
Yeah,
we had a blast.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and get Mike and Ike. They're trying to knock out some deals down here with some local businesses, and if you'd like to sponsor or do a little deal with the guys from the War Report, if you're an Auburn-centric business, or you just realize, hey, here's some guys that started a web show 2 years ago, and now they have over 15,000 followers that are right here in the state of Alabama where you sell stuff.
Yeah.
They're looking to take on some partnerships, so you can contact them at info@thewarreport.com. And I know they had been trying to make something out with Hall Sausage, one of our fine sponsors here, to see if they could work something out there. Mike, we're on the air, Mike.
I'm playing with it. I'm doing something right.
Mike has graduated to actually producing the online show today, not just running it off his phone. But no, seriously, I mean, it's one thing to run it off the phone. Here. Yeah, it's one thing to run the show off your phone and just do a Facebook Live. Right now, we're multi-platform streaming through StreamYard, if you want to know what we use. And it allows us to simultaneously produce this live and send it real time to Facebook, YouTube, and as I said earlier, my Twitter page.
Okay.
So
I think for a lot of people, Twitter is what they're going to prefer to say. Twitter's that, stay around longer.
You know what the biggest thing I have found with that name change has been?
What's that?
If you're looking up a company and you want to know what their Twitter page is, you type in, Adobe Ridge Houses, Twitter. Boom, it pops up. You type in Adobe Ridge Houses X, there's no telling what you're going to come up with.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't identify, it can't differentiate what you're thinking. I'm thinking X, the social media platform, but it may be thinking Adobe Ridge Houses 10.
Yeah.
Or, something else that starts with an X that you don't want popping up on your screen, especially if you're in a mixed company.
If you have to punch in too many X's.
Right. Exactly.
So anyway, there's that.
So that has made it difficult trying to find the Twitter page for something that I want to look up. If you try to do the X,
I was looking for Twitter after I forgot he changed the name, and I was looking for Twitter, and I kept saying, where is it? Where is it? And I saw the X. They had already changed it.
Yeah.
On iPhones, and I'm sitting there and I said, "What's this X?" And I hit it, and boom, there it was.
Yeah, just one of those mini updates that your phone has done over the past years. That's one of the what the update was. Yeah. Was changing all
I found my phone doesn't work as well if I don't do those updates, but I prefer the ones that do it automatically while you got it plugged in at night while you're asleep.
Well, a buddy of mine who's really heavy into the tech thing says you should have it set up so that nothing updates until it slows your phone down, because most of those updates will slow your phone.
Well, there's things I've come to recognize what it does. I said, it must be. Yeah. So I'll go to.
And he's a big proponent of, if something needs an update that you've never used before, get it off your phone.
Yeah.
30 seconds, Mike. There were words we're supposed to say.
251-343-0106.
What's that?
Callahan's Irish Social Club texting calling line.
That's crazy.
And when we come back, I got a question for Stu when he comes back. He is back.
We're both going to come back.
Anyway. All right, folks.
Yeah, so text or call, or, walk up in here.
So I can just click on that.
That's what you need to do. Oh. Comments? This one we automatically send out every week.
Yeah.
Star Red. I've got a fan of this.
It's to Riviera. Oh, he's in Riviera, Texas.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my buddy Stan Miller.
Oh, okay.
And I need to tell him happy belated birthday too. So he's had a birthday today.
Hey, you know what today is, don't you? What? National Squirrel Observance
Well, that's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, see, you saw my post
No.
that I put on there.
No, Mayor State Park, but it's not squirrel to eat.
Well,
But we're going to joke like it is.
well, somebody already said something. Got a squirrel helper. Squirrel helper.
Yeah. Squirrel burger hill.
on Facebook because I said, well, let's see what I said. It was pretty witty.
If you were conceived under Azalea Bush and Maple Square, you probably haven't considered exploring other parade options outside of Mobile, but the energy of the crowds.
We got 2 whole people watching this right now on Facebook.
Can make for an
Yeah,
unforgettable Mardi Gras experience.
That's all of it.
Stu Ray O'Donnell has an appreciation for squirrels. In fact, he may even have a few recipes.
True. You see my new Mardi Gras menu? Put up during parade days. It's only 6 items.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But there's one thing you can only get during parade.
What's that?
A buffalo.
Man,
It's going to make a buffalo on the Kaiser.
yeah.
At Toomey's, it's Mardi Gras every day. For more than 50 years, Mobile Bay Magazine has showcased the history, style, arts, dining, and entertainment that defines.
Yeah, so have the classic and the NOLA, and they're already going to be made up, so that we're just scoop them, throw a little garnish, and throw it at you.
Sarah help.
Sarah, also Crystal from Butch's. So like those long days like Saturday, Crystal will be working at Butch's for lunch. So Sarah will work lunch with me. And then Crystal can come in later that night if she wants, or if Crystal can't get a babysitter, Sarah can work. Got 2 people to
Still,
help.
she's a bartender.
No, she works back in the kitchen. She's the short little girl back there with the crazy colored hair.
Sorry yesterday.
Born without an inside.
We had Becky's birthday party there.
That's our joke, is that she was born without an inside voice.
Yeah, you can hear about it.
Yeah.
We'll get sponsors.
Yeah, I haven't drunk any all on. Not much change.
Available now on iTunes and Google Play. To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now,
Okay, we want to say thank you to a couple of our friends who helped make the show possible. Bob's downtown, down on the corner of Fat and Happy.
Yeah.
That's North Jackson and St. Francis. Did not go there today. Too cold.
Thank you.
Thank you. That thank you is sponsored by. Anyway, our friends over at Label Sean One at Tapas Bar, home of the Dave's famous pimento cheese.
Thank you.
There you go. How could we go all day or go without even mentioning Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats?
Mention
They're in the store, yes. Thank you.
I'm thinking this next few weeks I'm going to use a lot of
I've been using some of their stuff.
We'll talk about it here in a minute. But also, thank you.
That's right. And then Butch Cassidy's over there in the middle of Floshell, Florida, and O'Shell Road. There yesterday. It was
Were they busy?
Becky's birthday, and they were busy, but they accommodated us for 11 people. Food came
That
out.
place is recession-proof.
Very timely. Food came out. The food came out delicious. Thank you, Roy and staff, and Shannon.
Thank
Shannon
you.
really took care of us.
Shannon's top notch.
Oh, she is. She is.
She came and covered one of the shifts last week for one of the girls that was out of there. We were shorthanded, so it was just like her and Riri and Megan. Couldn't even tell anybody it was.
Oh,
We're one of the smoothest shifts I've ever seen there when it was ridiculously busy.
yes. They were slammed yesterday. But hey, I do want to mention Hall's Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Get out there and ask for it. If you don't find it in your store that you like to shop at, ask for it. And
Or as Martha Stewart would say, if you don't find it in your local store, move to another town.
there you go. There you go.
She actually did say that one time. She was talking about if you can't find shiitake mushrooms at your local market, you should probably move to another town.
There you go. Hey, I want to say a birthday out to Stanley Miller. Stanley is a longtime friend of mine. Met him at a wine tasting many years ago. Moved from the Northwest, him and his wife Jen, and we became friends. He's texting from Riviera, Texas. And Stan, happy belated birthday, buddy. Stan was always on my gumbo team, gumbo cook-offs, and we had a blast at those things, and he'd always show up for that. But that and happy birthday to him, and I want to say happy birthday to Becky Bailey, who is my ex, but we're great friends, and it's her birthday Tuesday, and we had her birthday party at Butch Cassidy's yesterday.
Yeah.
So
I had a girlfriend one time. We only dated a few months. It was a long distance thing, but we were friends for, well, the rest of her life.
yeah,
About 10 years afterwards. Very good
Okay.
friends. And sometimes you're just better off being friends, man. Yeah.
sometimes it works out that way. Stu,
Yes,
I got some national days for 10, and I got one in particular, but I want to go through these other ones. New England, today is National New England Clam Chowder Day.
good day for
I
it.
would actually, yeah, it is, it really. But I could eat clam chowder here, but it may not taste like it actually does up there.
I'm sure it
I
doesn't,
think,
but I will tell you, you can find a fine clam chowder on the Gulf Coast in Pensacola at Flounders.
okay.
Their clam chowder.
And I'm sure
is
I'd like to hear if there's
spectacular.
any here locally.
Yeah.
that
And I'm
do
sure
it.
there are
great.
people here that do it locally. When I do a chowder, I tend to shy away from clams simply because it's not easy to get fresh little red clams.
Yeah.
I did one at the mac and cheesery that was a Cajun corn and sausage chowder using the Cajun sausage from Paul's.
Okay. Also, today is Baltic Porter Day. Now, I like porters.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
know.
this is the wine, not the
This
beer?
is the Baltic.
This is
porter
the
day.
wine porter, not the beer porter.
I'm not assuming it's a beer.
Okay.
But some of them look like they're in a wine bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm
thinking Bordeaux, aren't I?
Huh?
Portuguese, okay.
You're thinking
Yeah, I love porters.
porter, but this is the beer. Yes,
But from the Baltics, I would like to try that.
Baltics. Maybe a Lodi Beer Garden, or maybe Brady River,
Yeah.
or Oyster City.
John and them could do
Mhm.
a Baltic style.
Well, they do
porter.
support it, and
Yeah.
and the place that used to be Old Majestic is now owned by Fairhope.
Right. I forget the name, but
Yeah, I think they have they do a porter.
yeah.
And
I enjoy porter. For those that don't know, that a porter is similar to a stout, but
Mhm.
it's not as bitter. It's sweeter.
yeah, but I've really grown to love stouts.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
And
Well,
what got me started was the Fairhope Brewing Judge Roy Bean.
that's
stout.
excellent stout.
Oh,
That
man,
really
I
is.
love
That's a coffee stout.
Well, it is. It's a
And
coffee.
I use it to braise
Hence
short
the
ribs.
word bean, like
Yeah.
coffee bean.
Right. I used to, that was a signature dish back when I was doing the weddings, was the Judgment Day ribs, we called it. But it was braised beef short rib, and we braised it in the Judge Roy Bean coffee stout.
Oh, cool.
And it was delicious.
Also, today is National Granola Bar Day. It's like eating some pine
Man,
bark.
when I was a little kid, I would rather have grape nuts than Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
I like the earthiness
Mhm.
of granola. That's that grain. I want to taste the grain in the nuts. I think it's delicious. I love oatmeal. That's mostly what granola is, just dried oats,
Okay. All right.
which also makes a great beer.
All right. And then I've been waiting to get to this one. Squirrel Appreciation
Heck
Day.
yes.
Now,
Woo!
Stu tells me it's not what you think,
Chicken of the trees.
but you may feel a laugh. I can hear it through the wall. But I posted that on Facebook, and I said, now Stu would appreciate today,
I do
And
appreciate
he's
Squirrel
probably-
Appreciation Day.
and he probably has a few recipes for
Right.
squirrel, and we've talked about that subject on here before.
There's not much you can do with it. It's fried squirrels,
Well,
smothered squirrels,
my
squirrel
grandmother used to
stew, squirrel fricassee.
Take the brains out and chop them up and mix
Squirrel
them with
pecans.
eggs. Squirrel brains and eggs.
Mhm.
They, other countries, they eat every part of the animal.
And the other parts that we don't eat in the
Yeah.
U.S.,
Mhm.
are the most nutritious parts.
Well, that thing
When an apex predator kills, the first thing it goes for is heart, lungs, liver, brains, those organs that we all go, ooh, gross, and people go, you know what they put in an industrial sausage press? Yes, the absolute best parts of the animal.
Yeah. February last year, I went over to White Oak Plantation with David Hubble. David Hubble was there, and I went and for the John Foles Boucherie. And man, they were cooking everything, every part of the animal. But that thing I sent you this morning with that restaurant in Baja.
Yeah, Baja, California.
Yeah, they were doing hog jowl and cow meat.
Have you had hog jowl bacon?
No, I haven't.
Burgers has it, so you can find it at most Rouse's, most of the stores. But look for it. It's jowl bacon.
I think I've seen it.
It is both thick cut and crispy.
Yeah.
Because usually with thick cut bacon, you lose the crispiness for a little more chewiness.
Yeah.
It is crispy, even though it is thick cut. It's just spectacular. The strips are not nearly as long. But yeah, jowl bacon is phenomenal.
So going back to squirrels.
Squirrel bacon is hard to make.
No, I would imagine.
It takes about 40 of them to make a strip.
Just a little stick. They got little stomachs, so you can't really.
Yeah, and they're not. Now the ones beautiful square, you can make some bacon out of the bellies on those bugs.
Remember, I think we've talked about this. Remember when they told people stop feeding
squirrels,
stop
they're
feeding
dying of
squirrels.
obesity and diabetes.
So one morning I rode my bike. This is when Panini Pete's was doing the big gays there on Dolphin Street, and I rode my bicycle over there, and that was there at that time, and I was coming back, and I like to ran over 3 or 4 squirrels, and they just like rolled over with their stomach on their belly, like they were dying for breath. And
there's a chipmunk over there with a little defibrillator trying to bring them back to life.
They were huge. Those squirrels were big, and I mean, those were edible.
Yeah, they're edible.
I see some, people talk about things got so bad in this country about eating pine cones. Wonder what about, what pigeons are pretty big.
Pigeon is squab.
Squab?
Yeah, you've heard of roast squab under glass? That's pigeon.
Oh.
So yeah. Now I had a friend from Chicago. She goes, she said, I'll eat the squirrel first. In Chicago, a pigeon is a rat with wings. And I said, it's a delicious rat with wings. Squab. That's what that is. Squab. I want to save those till we come back. You can look at them.
I'll look at them near the commercial break.
We'll see if we get that font a little bigger.
A little bit for mine,
Yeah,
but because I know David Hubble's got something to say up there.
Oh, I'm sure. Now,
he already did say something. He said, Stu, you could offer the Lady and Tramp experience to make a cheesery on
let him kiss a dog?
Pasta in the outdoor alley.
That's pretty good. I like that.
He might try that.
Steve, I know you've probably never had brains. It tastes like the best.
How did you mean that?
For breakfast. It tastes like the best pork sausage you have ever had until you swallow it, and then it tastes like gray matter. That's the best way to describe it. However you think gray matter tastes.
With that, folks, it's time to take a break.
Yep. 251-343-0106. What is that, Mike?
That's the Callahan's Irish Social Club texting calling on. I saw Andy McDonald posted the other night that I'm about to judge the.
Wait a minute. What do you mean I've never had any break? How do you know? Do I act like that now? I mean,
because you lived in Kansas past the age of 18. Once you were an adult, you could get out. You did. It's just so flat. That's the thing. The two things I remember about all my trips to Kansas. So flat.
Yes.
And the only sunflowers I have ever seen there are on signs proclaiming it sunflowers.
There are sunflower fields now. They're crop. Now there's a big crop. But, yeah. Yeah, when I was a kid, there was the regular sunflowers like this big. Yeah. Fields and fields of they were mainly in the ditch. We called them fields, but they were in the ditch. Now they they've got so many insecticides and other stuff that drain
So
off.
it's kind of disappeared. Where's it at?
I don't know. They put it on the dark screen. That's got free clicking.
The phone, all the phone numbers.
Well, I already hit that. And then wait, because this computer takes 5 minutes to do a 5-second
Oh, I was
process.
gonna say, this Optiplex 380 is probably, 1993 old. That poor thing, it's, what is that, Windows something on it? Is that a Windows 11? Windows. As long as it's not Vista. Actually, I didn't have any problems with Vista.
IBM operating system #1.
Right.
This Windows on here, and they just took $109 out of my account overnight to pay for the, but I can run up to 8. I can download Windows on 8, like 8 different things.
Is that Parallels? Is that what you're running? Is it Parallels?
Yeah.
Parallels is a program that did a,
Like I got my ex-wife's on there, I got both my laptops on here, and it'll automatically update the Windows. Any changes for the year, or during the year, but they charge me $109.
oh, that's, okay, you're, I
Once a year.
was thinking that was a Mac, I'm sorry.
But it's harder for me to run the Windows than it used to be.
Well, yeah,
Windows used
because
to be
it's
really,
more intriguing, it's a lot more complex. There's a lot more now.
but
But you got COVID hit now.
yeah.
Well, most of the time when they update your laptop, it's kind of like, the best way to describe it is if you've got a PS3 and you're trying to run a PS5 game, there's way too much information in that PS5 game. It'll slow, it won't work. Data.
You talk about the King cake. King
Kickoff.
kickoff.
It's all about the processor.
Come back. And people want their winners.
So here we go.
Do you want to talk a little bit about, I don't want to say anything negative about Steve, but probably don't want to say anything negative about the Board of Health, but although we liked it. We just did.
Michael,
See,
it would be great if somebody could have a competition where all the best bakers in the area got together and tried to outdo each other in king cakes. Wouldn't it be cool if we had something like that?
that would be awesome.
Yeah. Get to work on that. See what you can do.
Okay, we'll work on it. Joking aside, they already had that, Steve.
Oh,
They had that
okay.
the other night. And I saw Andy McDonald posted, and he was one of the judges. I assume he was one of the judges. He was there. And I said, yeah, like you need king cake, Andy. And then he goes, get your butt down here. And I said, no, I wasn't asked. And plus, I love the flavors, but hey, I'm trying, look at me in the, look at this right here. I can see me right now. Done put some weight back on with these holidays.
Actually, you look like you can see your toes down. That's good.
That's how short I am. On my driver's license, you can see the top of my feet.
Mike's so short he can lick his toes.
I don't want to do that. Anyway, no, they had a king cake competition. It's called 2024 King Cake Off. And the winner was the traditional king cake was Pullman's Bake Shop. Wow. That was big. That was big for them. It was big.
Yeah. Return to glory.
Return to glory. Non-traditional was Cammie's Old Dutch ice cream. She did a king cake ice cream.
I have heard that it is delicious. I have not tried it. You should be proud of me. Hanging out with Roy a couple of days a week for the last 8 months. I have yet to stop over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I like to go in there during peach season because I can get peach ice cream.
that
She
does
makes her own peach.
See, it always sounds good, but when I get off work, I'm like,
And
you got to go home and do something. You
and
gotta go do something.
and Cammie's opening up in where the Biscuit King used to be in Fairhope,
Yeah.
down a county road there. But it's I don't know what new design or anything she's going to do, but it's going to be a great place.
I don't know if Steve knows the cool story about Cammie's when they opened up a production facility out in Tillman's Corner, just to produce ice cream.
Really?
And she for the store.
Oh, wow.
To be left alone, to just get in there and work. People wouldn't leave them alone. They eventually had to open up an ice cream shop in their production facility because people would not stop coming there trying to buy ice cream.
Wow.
Just throwing money at it.
Yeah, some
Tape
hospital
everything.
road right
Yeah.
before you get to Children's Corners.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, but yeah, and she's busy. Hey, it was freezing cold yesterday, and people were going in camis.
Interesting piece of information about ice cream and
And cold weather.
statistics. Summertime, naturally, the busiest season of the year for ice cream sales. Number 2 is wintertime.
Yeah, so we
I
got summer, winter. So
No, we rarely have winter. We just have.
That was good strawberry shake. It was just, I had.
Really?
Yes.
Well, we get those cravings like I do with hamburger helper. You know, I got
Or squirrel helper.
squirrel. I want to say real quick, the People's Choice was Viger High School. I love these.
Did they actually teach
schools.
kids something that can
Yeah.
help them when they get out of high
I
school?
love that these high schools are having culinary programs.
Yeah.
And that's just amazing. I love it. I love next time they have some competition, I want to go to one.
He wants to judge y'all. He wants free food. That's why we started a radio show, isn't it, Mike? We want free food. We want free booze.
Feed me.
Yeah. You throw us some grub, we will talk about you on the radio.
That's it. That's it. But
We are not bashful about that arrangement at all. Anybody wants to give us food, we'll talk about it.
there you go. Hey, what's going on with Delta Safari? What
Delta
got coming
Safari?
up?
Woo! It's been really cold.
Uh-huh.
And I actually tried to go fishing the other day out at Glen Sebastian. That pond out there is rocking with crappie, by the way. I caught the biggest crappie I've caught in probably 20 years out of a little pond out there by the hiking trails at Glen Sebastian Trails on the campus of South Alabama.
Wow.
It was a slab.
Wow.
But this cold weather, they usually retreat to the deepest part of whatever body of water they're in. If it's a deep body of water, their flotation bladder inflates,
Mhm.
and they have to stay down there a couple of days before they can ease up. But they'll get the binge just like we do. That's what helps them maintain. And but even if it's not one that's so deep that it deflates the bladder from the water pressure, the cold water just makes them very lethargic.
Yeah.
Now, conversely, you get in the salt water, I bet they're tearing up sheep's head right now, which I would love to get into.
The guy they call the mailman, musician, he goes fishing a lot, and he called it
And
bunch
they're
of sheephead.
delicious.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish until they smile. They
Well,
they got a smile like an Arkansas cousin. But
They don't have a dental program.
they have teeth like a human.
No offense to Arkansas folks. Huh?
Yeah, that's wrong. We should not do that. Like a British cousin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they do. They have squared off teeth. Yeah. They don't have fangs because sheep's head eat crustaceans, shrimps in the shell,
That makes
oysters,
a lot of
barnacles.
sense.
So a good way to catch them is to take a paddle with you in a boat and float a bridge like the Dolphin Island Bridge and go to each pilot and just scrape some barnacles off of it. Then start back at the other end and drift back down with some shrimp on there because the barnacles will attract the sheep's head to it because you just chum the water with it.
Yeah.
Then you can drift back down with the shrimp
So it
or whatever you. No, really, you just take it, and drift
So-
on down.
Um,
Most of what you're doing is just sitting on your butt, letting the water do the work, man.
you was talking about that with the with the fish and that such a National Geographic now comes on the ABC on
It
Saturday
also comes on the
mornings.
National Geographic Channel
Well, this is like
all the time.
Mutual of Omaha,
Yeah.
not National Geographic. I'm sorry, the Mutual of Omaha show comes on
Oh, okay.
on Saturday mornings
Wow.
on channel on ABC. And I watched yesterday, and they were talking about the cold effects on turtles.
Because they're reptilian.
And they
Yeah, they are
like
cold-blooded.
they like just
They just go dormant.
yeah. And
Yeah.
And I look at the the poor manatees, how it affects them. It usually kills them, but because the vegetation's gone and then they freeze and
But they also have a pretty good migration pattern. They can move
Yeah.
far enough south.
oh yeah.
Usually that it's not an issue.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if they got trapped up here too soon, didn't move out fast enough. It's funny because with manatees, we want to protect them. They're a
Yeah.
graceful, interesting creature. But don't call them beautiful. I hate it when we've got to say the beautiful manatees. It's a reason we call it.
Their life is beautiful.
It's
Right,
like a-
right. Their life experience is beautiful. Of course, we want to keep them as part of our ecosystem because it's unique. It's what makes this area great. But they ugly, y'all. They ugly.
Like an Arkansas cousin. No offense, no offense. Before.
It sounds like you got a little too much Crimson Tide in you. Now, speaking of sports, there is one undefeated basketball team in the Southeastern Conference.
Oh.
That would be your Auburn Tigers.
Oh.
They laid waste to number 22 Ole Miss last night.
Yes, they did.
It was never, and there's been a lot of talk. Ole Miss played a really bad non-conference schedule.
But I bet our coach can beat your players up.
He certainly took a swing in the Missouri play.
He pushed them away.
It was a little more than a push.
Nah.
Yeah. But well, which nobody got killed, so I guess it's a good thing.
Nobody died.
Yeah, this year. And but yeah, y'all took a licking yesterday at Tennessee too. I love college basketball, y'all. And I wish more people would get into it. I found this thing on my TV, on the YouTube TV, called Multi-View. I can put 4 basketball games up there at a time. So if Auburn's game is in commercial, I can go watch Pittsburgh knock off Duke at Duke. Now, and then one of their players hop up on the scorer's table and wave his hands and all of the Cameron crazies.
Now, when I was younger,
that was cool.
Cliff Ellis was the coach at South Alabama.
Yeah.
I'd go to games in
later
the auditorium. And I'd go to downtown, and the auditorium was packed with people.
And those South Alabama UAB games used to always make out.
Yeah.
So it was Gene Bartaw was a longtime coach at UAB. He is to basketball in the state of Alabama collegiately what Bear Bryant was to football. He was the best for ages. I would argue to say Bruce Pearl's the best coach that this state's ever seen collegiately.
Yeah.
Right now. Nate Oates is no slouch, but
I'm
no Final Four. I mean, he's the only coach that's ever taken any team from the state.
When it comes to Auburn, my favorite Auburn sport is
equestrian.
Equestrian.
The horses.
The horses.
Equestrian.
You know why? Because when I was on the board at Fairgrounds 2 years in a row, and I guess they suckered me. John, will you do it again next year? And I was in charge of all the horse bits. So, I ain't never there.
Hey Mikey, you want a pony? Yeah, I want a pony.
That's the first time I wore duck boots for the first time.
That is Talladega. I've never went because I didn't have the money. Because that's a high dollar Nashville money going to steeplechase. But I mean, they're getting knocked down, drunk, laying on the ground, getting sunburnt off of Merlot. It is the place for you, man.
I don't know if it's wrong.
Well, it could have been Pinot Grigio, which I purchased a Pinot Gris just recently. You know why?
Why?
Because that was the cardboardo that I needed to make them on a dish. I needed some white wine.
I've been studying and looking up wines that are sugar free. There's a number of them coming out now that are sugar free.
So how does that work, Mike?
Well,
what does the yeast consume?
And the process, I need to learn about the process, how they do it.
Yeah.
But
because you just had somebody ask you what it is.
Because I'm still studying it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
There hadn't been
nobody knows.
There haven't been any brands available until now, so they're just now starting to hit the market. People are conscious about the sugar. One of them's called Gracia, but it's not available here. And I have got samples of alcohol-free wine in, and I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
But I will give you a report.
Synthahol, they call it.
I just don't want to do it by myself. I need to get a group of people together and try it.
Yeah.
That way it's a wine tasting.
It's a near wine tasting.
And there's some good alcohol-free beers out of St. Pauli makes good ones. Guinness makes good ones. Believe it or not, Budweiser makes a really good.
Well, they're owned by a Belgian company now. Yeah. There's no nation on this planet that does beer better than Belgium. The best thing that ever happened to Budweiser was getting bought by Belgium.
251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club text and call in line.
For more than 50 years.
Anheuser-Busch makes some really good beer.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, they make Budweiser.
They
and
just
Budweiser.
their marketing. They're done that.
Well, I like the Ember Pop. That's a really good beer. I've enjoyed that a lot. Michelob has a really good stack. Michelob ran at one time. I've never been able to find, I don't know if they still make it. We had a sign on the wall at the Applebee's on Airport. Or was it the one at Crestview? But it was a Michelob made in all malt. Yeah, that's what the training store was. I lived in Florida for 3 months.
Finding ways to do more.
Very Katrina.
And taking advantage of every opportunity that comes their way. That's why Comcast Business is
You just couldn't leave well enough alone.
Well, nothing was popping up. I hit David Hubble's name and everything disappeared.
Pop up in the middle of Sean's show.
No, they'll have it. They got it figured out.
Don't wait.
Yeah, they don't use that
to
one.
learn about the
I'll use that one over there. We got any more text
Give
messages?
your business a
Steve?
head start in 2024. Get started with internet
I know.
and security for $49 a
Okay,
month
cool.
with 12
We don't have to worry about it.
agreement.
Mhm.
Hold on
And
one second.
unlimited mobile
Maybe it's too cold.
That's why I don't work for the frigid.
Restrictions apply. New customers only. 100 megabits per second internet
Any
and
more
security.
comments?
Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
If you or someone you know is struggling with
Okay,
addiction,
cool.
please call this toll-free number right now.
Smoke don't
800-410-4036.
Smoke don't what?
Smoke don't miss you.
4036. Calling your addiction team. You're taking the first steps to recovery. Don't fight addiction alone. Their advisors
Leave it alone
are ready
for a
to
while.
take your call. Your
I don't even know
future
what-
is still
that might
in the
be
right place.
porn of, I don't know what that is.
One call away. 800-410-4036.
Interesting, you know the name of the porn site.
That's 800
Just
what do you type in?
4036. This call is completely confidential, and if you have private insurance, there could be little
Another
to
tab.
no cost to you. Even if you've already been to treatment, give us a call. There is no need for addiction ruin your
Whoop,
life.
whoop. Like I say, it's last
Call
night.
your addiction team at 800-410-4036. That's 800-410-4036. Make the free call now. 800-410-4036. Or Addiction Team is a third-party advertiser for various treatment centers and placement networks. Individual results will vary. Visit youraddictionteam.com
it's just hold that state
for more information.
Tune in to Retire Right Radio with Paul Roberts. Let's make sure that no matter how old in life you go in life.
Oh, that was the Internet Explorer, or whatever Microsoft calls their browser now.
There's still nothing.
These are some of the largest life-changing
Because
decisions.
we just said we didn't get one message.
Music memories from 62 to
When
80.
you asked her.
Tune in to Retire Right Radio with Paul Roberts.
Yeah, I know it. I've never seen Von Davis comment.
You're getting all Charlie like now. Oh, no, it's all right.
Call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey, let's mention real quick. Let's
What?
mention real quick.
Folks at Bob's Downtown Diner, like,
Absolutely.
corner of Fat Hammock, Mardi Gras, they will have special hours.
I don't know.
Okay,
I bet they will.
yeah.
I bet they will.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those of you who can't get down Monday through Sunday day or lunch might have a chance to try.
Let me tell you what, them, like everybody downtown, they earn their salary during Mardi Gras. 'Cause
I
they,
certainly hope to start earning it Friday.
yes, but thank you, Tony and the girls down here, Bob's Downtown Diner, corner of Fat and Happy. Also, thank you, Le Bichon Wine and Tapas Bar over in Fair. They have a couple of parades that pass right
About
by
to
the
ask
front
you,
door.
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So that's a
They
good
have
place to
like
get it.
three, yeah, go there and get there early and get you some wine and some charcuterie board and then go outside and watch the parade. And when they go out and come back in and see.
Dunk your moon pie and some wine.
There you go.
What is the best wine for dunking a moon pie?
By that time,
Something by Cupcake?
by that time, anything. So, but they got beer there too. You can dunk it in the beer or wash it down with the beer wine. Also, thank you, Hall Sausage and Meats, Wholesale Meats. We want to thank Deborah and the gang over there.
They will not have a Mardi Gras parade going by their facility.
Not chicken.
I don't know if Chickasaw has a parade, but if they do, it's going to be on 43 and it's going to take you from the Whataburger to the police station.
And
Like
But,
most nights end up anyway.
And thank you, fine folks over at Butch Cassidy Corner of Florida and O'Shell.
Definitely no
Cool
Mardi Gras
O'Shell.
parade there.
Yeah, definitely for sure. So, did you say we have a call?
Indeed, cookie.
Cookie.
Do you need to be cut off? Have you had too much to drink?
This early in the morning? No.
Yeah. So yeah, she's had too much to drink.
Okay. Too much coffee, maybe.
What's on your mind?
Ooh.
PEA, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, what is it that Simon Majonga calls? Yeah. He calls it soul saving soup or something. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Same here. Yep, smack dab.
Yep.
Actually, I made a beef stew at Little House Midtown, and I used the trimmings from filet mignon to make it. And they said it was too good to be beef stew, so they called it stew. So they got the trademark.
You spell it different.
And I can tell you from trying to sell soups down there, nobody wants them. Yeah, Mike, you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the research on that.
I'm gonna stay simple myself.
The stuff I do, you guys.
Yeah, they.
I have to be.
Yeah, all it takes is pulling that foot. Thank you, dear.
Cookie.
All it takes is pulling that foot out of that grave to do it, isn't it? Mike?
Almost having that foot in that grave.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's sure change your mind.
Hey, so it's been cold this week. Actual cold.
Yeah.
What do you drink to stay warm? Is there a wine? For me, it's Cabernet Sauvignon. It warms me. If that's
Well,
a wine. What a brandy?
I start my day
Would
with
you say a
coffee.
brandy would be? No. I mean, if you're
But-
looking for a libation.
At night, in the evenings, and I don't drink. My drink is tequila. I drink
To stay
tequila,
warm?
but that doesn't keep you warm.
Oh, okay.
I've always thought that whiskey and bourbon is more the ones that warm you
Yeah.
up.
Brandy is one that's famous
brandy.
for.
And,
That's
I
what
don't
they
drink a whole lot of brandy. I really don't.
And we probably should.
some-
I love sherry, but I don't
Mhm.
ever drink it because we're not in an area that has a good cherry selection.
Yeah. And all
We
because
got, like,
that can
Taylor's
be
Cream.
that can be sold by distributors now. It's
Yeah.
not it's not restricted to the ABC store, so it can be sold by distributors.
So to keep warm, you suggest whiskey, and I say Cabernet Sauvignon.
Well, bourbon, bourbon,
Scotch.
or Scotch, because those do keep you warm on the inside.
It's all an illusion, but yes.
Mhm.
Now, to keep warm food-wise, this is what I tell everybody. Rediscover roasting.
There you go.
Use your oven to do two things at once.
Mhm.
Warm your home and cook an easy dinner. Because think about it. You get a chunk of meat, some potatoes, some carrots, you salt, pepper, garlic it, throw it in an oven, blast it at like 450 degrees for 20, 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Turn it down low to like 325 for a couple hours. When it's tender, it's done.
Yeah.
Just roast things. Roast a chicken. I did some roast pork loin, roast a duck.
You did duck. You did duck, and you didn't call me.
I didn't do duck recently. I've done
Oh.
duck before. I just did pork tenderloin this week.
Okay.
But roast stuff in the
Mhm.
oven, and that way, and that's why baking is always thought of during the wintertime too. Make a cake, make some cookies, make a loaf of bread. Do it yourself,
Do it yourself.
and you'll
want
have
to.
the best loaf of
I've
bread
been
ever,
playing.
and it'll warm your home.
I've been studying, looking up a lot of recipes with eggs, and there's a lot of interesting little simple things you can do with vegetables and eggs and cheese and egg. Like I did a Parmesan, mozzarella. I caramelized it on one side, put my eggs in it, and then flipped it over like a taco or empanada. And
Are you familiar with a frittata? It's similar to an omelet. And it comes from Italy. You blend everything up, it's all in there. You put it in the pan,
Mhm.
and you start the pan on the stove, then you finish it in the oven. When it's done, you pull the whole thing out like it's a pizza, cut it into wedges.
But that's what's keeping me warm right now. Hey, folks, we got to go. Thanks for tuning in, watching us, listening, putting up with us. Thank you, Cookie, for calling in.
Yeah.
Get out there, support local, be local. Hey, it's going to be Mardi Gras. Be patient.
Laissez le bon temps provolone.
I love that.
And it's going to ask you to share.